Hello students, welcome you all to the academic year 2020-21 at St. Joseph School. I welcome you all to the 6th standard. As we all know, we all are confined to our houses because of this corona pandemic. Staying home and staying safe is very important. With this idea, we'll be starting your classes through digital means. Science is a very interesting subject. It is applicable in our everyday life. I want you people to learn science with lots of interest. I don't want you people to by heart the question answers. I want you people to understand the concepts and then learn it. We shall try to make science as much as interesting as possible for you people. So today we shall begin with your first chapter of science, food, where does it come from? In this chapter, we shall learn about what are the sources of food, what are ingredients, before moving on to the chapter, I would like to give you an introduction to what is food. You all know, we all have our food every day. We have our breakfast in the morning, we have our lunch in the afternoon, we have our snacks in the evening, we have our dinner at night. Food is one of the most essential things required for survival, be it for plants, for animals, or for human beings. All living things require food. Food is what people and animals eat to survive. It is eaten by living things to provide energy and nutrition. Food contains the nutrition that people and animals need to be healthy. It contains proteins, fat, carbohydrates, vitamins, water and minerals. In this image, you can see people doing three different activities. One person is working on the computer, one is lifting weights, and another person is mopping the floor. To do all these activities, we require energy or strength. Food is required for giving us energy. We have carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have fats, vitamins, minerals, water. All these things are required for energy, for the growth and for development. Materials required for growth and maintenance of our body are called nutrients. And food is the basic source of nutrients. So how can we define food as? The nutritious things which we eat for obtaining the nutrients is called as food. Food is nothing but all the nutritious things that we eat. Nutrients means materials that are required for our growth and maintenance of our body. They are called as nutrients. Here we have given you certain images of nutrients. They may be carbohydrates, they may be proteins, they may be fats, vitamins, minerals. All these things combine and give us nutrients. And food is the basic source of nutrients. So the nutritious thing which we eat for obtaining the nutrients is called as food. I want to ask you certain questions. What did you eat at home today? Did you eat the same kind of food yesterday and today? Some of you may give me different answers. Some of you might have had puri, some of you might have had idlis, some of you might have had upma, you might have vada or pizza or chapati or anything. Usually we don't eat the same kind of food every day. We tend to change it. For example, for yesterday breakfast, if you had idli, today you might have chapati or you might have something else. We all eat different kinds of food at different times. So we people have variety of food. We don't eat the same kind of food every day. There seems to be so much of variety in the food that we eat. Now we'll see what are all these food items made of. We'll take for example about cooked rice at home. We take raw rice and boil it in water. Just two materials or ingredients are needed to prepare a dish of boiled rice. We all have rice at home. You know, to make that rice that we eat at home, we require only two materials. One is raw rice and another is water. So this raw rice and water, when we boil it together, we get boiled rice. Just two materials or ingredients are needed to prepare a dish of boiled rice. On the other hand, some food items are made with many ingredients. To prepare vegetable curry, we need different kinds of vegetables, salt, spices, oil and so on. The materials used to prepare a dish are called ingredients. So what all materials we require to prepare a dish or prepare a food item, we call them as ingredients. To prepare boiled rice, we require only raw rice and water. Similarly, to prepare vegetable curry, we require vegetables, we require salt, we require spices, we require oil and various other materials. So all these materials that we require to prepare a dish, they are called as ingredients. Here there is a chart about the food items and what all ingredients are used in preparing those food items. For example, first one, roti and chapati. You might have seen roti and chapati which we have every day at our home. What is it made up of? Roti and chapati is made up of atta or flour along with water and salt. We have dal curry at home. Dal is made using pulses, water, salt, oil or ghee and spices. So all these things together are mixed and boiled and then what we get is dal. Then what are the ingredients we require to make cake? To make a cake we require maida, we require sugar, milk, butter, baking powder. All these things are beaten together and they are baked in a oven. Next is pulao. To make pulao we require rice, we require vegetables, we require spices, oil and water. So all these things that are required to make a food item, these items we call them as ingredients. Different food items require different ingredients. To prepare some food items we require less ingredients like rice, and to prepare certain things like be it a cake or a pulao, we require more ingredients. Have you ever thought from where do we get this ingredients? Like for example, to make chapati we saw we required atta and salt. Have you ever wondered from where do we get this atta or salt? To know that, we should know sources of food. There are two sources of food. One is plants and another is animals. Some food comes to us from plants, like it may be vegetables, it may be fruits, it may be cereals, pulses. Then some food items they come from animals, like egg, meat, milk, they all come from animals. So the most important sources of food are two. One is plants and another is animals. Here there is a chart of ingredients used to prepare food items and their sources. For example, to prepare idli, what all things we require? To prepare idli we require rice, we require urad dal. Urad dal in Kannada you call it as uddin bele. Then we require salt and we require water. So where do we get rice and urad dal from? We get rice and urad dal from plant. So the sources of rice and urad dal is plant. Then to prepare chicken curry, we require chicken, we require spices, oil, ghee and water. So the source of chicken is animal. We get chicken from a hen. Spices we get from plants. Oil and ghee. Oil we get from plants and ghee we get from animals, because ghee is prepared using milk. Similarly, to prepare kheer, we require milk, rice and sugar. Milk we get from animals, rice we get from plants and sugar also is got from plants. So this is how different ingredients are got from different sources. Some may be got from plants and some may be got from animals. So this shows us that plants and animals are the important sources of food. So what do we conclude from this chart? We can conclude that plants are the source of food ingredients like grains, cereals, vegetables and fruits. We get grains, cereals, vegetables and fruits from plants. Animals provide us with milk, meat products and eggs. Cows, goat and buffaloes are common animals which give us milk. Milk and milk products like butter, cream, cheese and curd are used all over the world. So from animals also we get a number of food products, like we get milk and milk products like butter, cream, cheese, curds, buttermilk, and from animals we get meat, egg. So we get food from both plants as well as from animals. We shall now see about plant parts and animal products as food. Until now we have learnt that plants and animals are sources of our ingredients which we require for preparing our food. Now we will see which part of a plant do we use as food. We eat mainly leafy vegetables. We eat fruits of some plants. Sometimes roots, sometimes stems and sometimes even flowers. Sometimes we even eat seeds also. For example, pumpkin flowers are also eaten. Pumpkin seeds are eaten. Here in a picture I have shown you how different parts of a plant are used as food. For example, as a fruit we eat an apple. As a root we eat a carrot. As leaves we eat cabbage. As flowers we may eat cauliflower. As seeds we may eat maize. As stems also we eat the stems of certain plants. So all the parts of a plant are used in one way or the other for food. Some plants have two or more edible parts. Now in one plant itself we may use the different parts as different parts of food. For example, seeds of a mustard plant gives us oil and leaves are used as vegetables. Can you think of different parts of a banana plant that are used as food? Think of more examples where two or more parts of a single plant are used as food. You might have seen here a banana tree. In a banana tree we use the banana fruit to eat. In some parts of the country even the banana flower and the banana stem also is used to cook and eat. So in one part itself of a plant we use the fruits to eat, we use the flowers to eat, we even use the stem to eat. One such example of a plant is banana plant. Similarly, you might have seen a coriander. In Kannada you call coriander as kothambari. We eat the leaves of the coriander plant. We even use the seeds of the coriander plant also as an ingredient. Similarly, pumpkin. We use the fruit. Pumpkin is the fruit of which we use it. Similarly, the seeds of the pumpkin also are used as an ingredient for making paste in the food. So, we have seen how banana plant, different parts of a banana plant are used as food ingredients. how different parts of coriander plant are used and how different parts of pumpkin plant are used. We shall do an activity. It's a very simple activity, all of you can do at home. Take some dry seeds of moong dal or chana dal. Put a small quantity of seeds in a container filled with water and leave it aside for a day. Next day, drain the water completely and leave the seeds in the vessel. Wrap them with a piece of wet cloth and set aside. The following day, do you observe any changes in the seeds? Take some dry seeds of moong dal or chana dal. Put a small quantity of seeds in a container and put some water to it. And night you can do it and keep it aside. Early morning what you do is you remove off all the water and then you tie it in a piece of cloth, wet cloth, and keep. Next day what changes do you see? So if you do this, next day we can see that small white things would have come out from those grains. Here in the picture you can see I have taken green gram and soaked it in water, and next day we have removed the water and wrapped it in a piece of wet cloth, and then what we find is white sprouts have come out from the grains. A small white structure may have grown out of the seed. If so, the seeds have sprouted. So that green color thing that you find coming out, that is called as sprout. After washing the sprouted seeds, you can eat them. They can also be boiled, add some spices and get a tasty snack to eat. Sprouted things are very healthy for our body. We get lots of nutrition for it. You can either eat it like that itself, or else you can add a pinch of salt and a few spices and have it as a tasty snack also. So seeds, they sprout, and later on when they sprout they grow to become plants. So far we have seen about sprouted seeds. Now we will see about another important food, that is honey. We all might have tasted honey. Do you know where honey comes from or how is it produced? Have you seen a beehive where so many bees keep buzzing around? Bees collect nectar or sweet juices from flowers, convert it into honey and store it in the hive. We all like honey. Honey is sweet to have. We might have seen a beehive. These bees, they collect the sweet juice from the flower. The sweet juice from the flower is called as nectar, and they convert it into honey and they keep it in their hive. Here we can see how honey is prepared. Here you have seen in the first picture, the bee collects the juice or the nectar from the flowers. Then it converts it into bee, and then it is stored in the beehive. And then the beekeeper, he goes to the beehive and collects the beehive and separates the honey, and then it is packed into bottles and then it is ready for our consumption. So this entire process that you see in the chart is the process of how honey is made. I will even send you a separate video of how honey is made. Flowers and their nectars may be available only for a part of a year. So bees store this nectar for the use all through the year. When we find such a beehive, we collect the food stored by the bees as honey. Flowers will not be available throughout the year. They will be available only some part of the year. So what do these bees do? The bees, they collect the juice from the flowers known as nectar and they store it in the beehive, and that they use it across the year. And we people collect that honey from the beehive for our consumption. Actually, bees use honey for their consumption, but we people collect that honey and use it for our consumption. The remaining next chapter we will discuss in your next video. So I hope you people have understood this chapter. There are a few activities to be done in this chapter. That we will discuss after the completion of the entire chapter. So your next video will be sent tomorrow. Have a nice day.